Live. Okay. Hey guys, Spooky Doll Lady Chris. Today we're gonna be doing some doll crafting, but first of all, I wanted to redress some of my dolls who are still in their Christmas stuff. It's getting a little bit late to still have Christmas tree hats and things on, so we're gonna change some of this out. Let me get the pile of dolls out of the way so I can see what I'm doing first. Okay. For Emily, I just want to change instead of the red shawl, because I'm putting a green hat on her and I don't want it to continue to look Christmassy. I'm gonna put a little green sweater over her dress instead. I think I probably have to take the dress off first, unfortunately. Just because it's a very full dress. And I don't think there's room for the sweater to slide on over it. So I'm going to do this first. And then put the dress back on. Because it is still February. So I'm not going to put her in a strappy dress in February. Oh, hey Julie. This one is Emily. This is the doll I won during LightCon Calgary from Heidi. So here she is. So I'm just changing the girls who are still in their Christmassy gear into something that's still seasonal but not specifically Christmassy. So I'm going to put her little sweater on. It's the problem with knits and these little tiny fingers. I have to be really careful because I don't want to catch any of the little loops of the knit. There we go. So, okay, that's her sweater on. Now I'm realizing that this particular green hat doesn't quite go with this color green of sweater, so I may pick a different hat for her later. And for now, she'll just be hatless. But she is at least a little more appropriately dressed for it to be February and not December. As cute as this Christmas tree hat from Anthony is, it's definitely very Christmassy. Okay, so, and the red shawl. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to change Alara next because she still has on this Christmas sweater or Christmas skirt. I love this bunny shirt though. If I had another skirt to put her in, I think I'd probably keep the bunny shirt on her just because it's so cute. But I don't have another skirt handy. So I'm going to be putting her back into this donut truck dress because she's my little sweet girl. I think I actually made Alara on my videos. I can't remember if I did her work on stream or not. I definitely shared her on Instagram, but she has 4 different kinds of galaxy eyes. Oh, these are my special blend of glitters. Um, I wanted to give her one of the glittery sets. I think I might leave those ones up for now. And then she also has these reddish galaxy eyes. I want to do the glitter though. Yeah. At some point I'm going to put beads on her strings. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. I actually have a couple of brunettes. One of the other ones I'm going to be changing is a brunette too. And then the other girl who's getting changed today is actually a raven-haired girl. So she's the only girl I have with black hair so far. I've been trying to get a ginger doll. I have my eyes on several, but buying dolls is not really in the budget right now. I'm still paying off $300 worth of vet bills that are currently on my care credit card. So that's just going to have to wait. Okay, so here she is in her new little outfit. So she's going to go back behind me on the shelf where she lives. I'll just set them over here for now because I don't want them to get dirty once I start working. Okay, and this is my other brunette girl, although she also has purple hair. She's not fully brunette. This is Shelly, who I got from Betsy. She has like a faux fur wig, which is super fun and so soft. And her outfit actually could have stayed on, but I bought an outfit specifically for her that I have been dying to put on her. And I was just waiting until after Christmas. And then I got COVID at Christmas, and it kind of just kept getting put on hold to change my doll's clothes. So. But I bought this set from Mandy during Australian Blythe Fest just for her because I thought it would look really cute with her purple hair. Oh. It's a little hard to find the tiny snaps under this much hair. Okay. There's the dress, and it also comes with, I'm going to put this on backwards and then turn it around so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. So, this is her new outfit. So, here she is. Yeah. I think you might have mentioned that the first time I showed her. I kind of like it because it reminds me of like Mary Shelley. So I think it suits a doll in my spooky doll family to be named Shelley. I love this dress so much. It's so cute. It has the extra long sleeves. I love those. All right, so she's going to go back in the other room on the bench with Emily. I let them live in the front room because they're the least scary of all of my dolls. All right, this is the last one I'm going to do today. She was a gift. I don't think, yeah, her name is Regs, and she was a gift from Anthony. After we've done like 5 million swaps together. I have actually another box of stuff that I'm getting ready to send to Anthony. Anthony, for those who don't know Anthony, is he's one of my doll friends who makes all of the hats that my Blythe girls wear. Pretty much every single hat I own, with the exception of maybe a dozen-ish, all came from him. So I think I'm going to take these socks off too, because the dress I'm going to put her in, I'm going to put her in one of these. Not sure yet. Let's see. What do you think? Yellow or maybe white for now? Yeah. So I just made these, and I love these dresses. I have been getting a bunch of requests to make more of them and sell them, so I will be putting them in my shop eventually. But I thought that she would look cute in one of these because she has, you know, the earthy green makeup, and I thought a flower dress would be perfect on her. Okay. So I'm going to have to figure out what shoes to put her in with this. I'm not really sure, but I like it. It's very vintagey. I think it fits with her look. So there she is. Let me see what other eyes we've got if I want to put different eyes up for her. So she also has brown and sparkly red. And, oh, I like these bluish greenish. But I think I like the ones I had up better. Yeah. I'm going to keep the earthy greens with the sunflower, or not the sunflower, the daisy dress. Okay, so that's all of the changing of clothes that I'm going to do today. But I did kind of want to show these off because I'm going to be putting them in my shop at some point soon. I'm going to turn that down a little bit now so I'm not staring at my double chin. Okay. I also made a couple of these. I'm sending one back to Anthony and keeping one for my own dolls. And then I have a couple of these, so I'm going to give Anthony the choice of one of these because he sent me the fabric, and then the other one will be in my shop soon. I'm going to add just little itty bitty buttons at the neck on all of these. And these ones I'm not going to be adding or embellishing anything because I feel like, you know, the big bold print and the trim are kind of enough, you know, to stand on their own. Oh yeah, I did have one more of this fabric. I have another one in this fabric in the other room that I am just about finished with. So again, because he sent me the fabric, he's going to get his choice, and then the other one will go in my shop. So let me just move all of the clothes that are not going on to dolls today out of the way so I can start. Okay, oh, I do actually have to go grab stuff from the other room because I also want to do a little bit of blushing on some of my little blockhead critters. I've been making a bunch of the little ones. Well, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave them in there for now because I think this is the only one I was really going to do major blushing on. This one's going to be a voodoo doll that was a request for another doll friend who has made a bunch of outfits and stuff for me. So I'm going to be doing that today. I got this little body. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it's, can you see maybe how it's not shiny anymore? It's nice and matte. So this is ready for blushing. Face is ready to be started. So it's not going to be, I'm probably not going to do anything major to it today. I'm just going to try out some colors on it with the blushing and kind of try and figure out what sort of look I'm going to go with. And then I also I sanded and prepped the plates. I have to finish sanding off the little bits of makeup on this one and then start sketching out the face for my Edgar Allan Poe doll. So that one Came with the scalp with the very messy hair that I'm going to have to do something with later. And I'm a little frustrated because it was, now I know I bought from AliExpress, and not every shop is reliable on there, but I bought from a shop that's usually known for being pretty reliable. And I bought a doll specifically because it was supposed to come with a boy body, and this is very clearly not a boy body. So, if any of my Blythe friends happen to watch this video and you have a light skinned, this is the really, really light, the white body in a boy body, and you wouldn't mind swapping with me, I'll send you this one. Or if you want to swap it to me for like anything I have in my shop, I'm always down for that. But otherwise, I'm going to have to order another body for poor Edgar, because I can't give Edgar a hippie body with boobs. It's just not really going to work for me. Yeah, so that's the plan for today. I've got, all my sanding stuff here. Still have so much doll stuff on the table. I have not cleaned my table in so long. Let's see. The bags that Edgar came in. Just stash these off to the side here. Who am I going to start on first? All of those need to get put away too. Oh, knocking things over now. Oh, I can't wait to see those, Julie. Yeah, I don't generally sew for seasons, which is one of the reasons I'm always happy to swap with other doll people, because I pretty much only sew for Halloween like all year. So I never have like good seasonal stuff for my dolls. And this year I had mentioned that like I was having a really depressing bad year, and I probably wasn't going to do anything with Christmas, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to like decorate my house or my dolls or anything for Christmas. And Anthony sent me like a care package at Christmas with a bunch of doll hats and like Christmas clothes for my dolls and little doll sized decor things, and it just it really made my day. It was so nice. So I did end up doing a little bit of decorating. I didn't get any pictures done just because I felt crappy because I had COVID, obviously. But I still really appreciated it. So I'm going to try next year to do more for holidays. I don't think I'm going to get to many holidays this year. Maybe Christmas. I might be caught up again in time for Christmas, but I'm so far behind because I haven't done anything since December, and it's basically March now. I'm very behind. Normally I would have opened back up for custom orders as of like mid-January. I would be working on summary style stuff right about now, and I haven't done anything. These last little bits are always the worst. I'm actually going to get my bag of carving tools, because I think the sanding tool that Casey sells in her shop, the little curved one, is probably going to be the best thing to get that out of there. I don't remember which box I have that in though. Oh, I need help. Not that one. It should be the next one down. Oh, maybe not. Uh-oh. Okay, if it's not in this one. Oh no. Could I put that? Oh, my carving tools are missing. This is a problem. I actually don't think I have seen that movie. I know I had it on my list to watch. I think I never got around to it. I don't know where I could have put my carving tools. Guys, never move. Never move. Not that one. Did it fall behind the boxes? Nope. Haha. Never move. The second you start packing your stuff up in boxes, it's not where it's supposed to be. I've been trying to move for 11 months and my house is just in complete disarray at this point. There's no salvaging it. And now we're talking about we might not even be able to move because housing prices have gone up so much since we started looking. We're already getting priced out of what we need. And they're just continuing to go up. So we have basically packed up half of our house and lived that way for like 11 months. And we might not even get to move. Oh, I broke my webcam again. There we go. Oh yeah, that's the one that was like partly a musical. Okay, yeah. It's on Hulu or something, right? I think. I think that might be why I haven't watched it, because Hulu. I don't actually have Hulu. We're signed in through my brother and sister-in-law's account on our Fire Stick, so I can only watch Hulu on the TV. And I don't like things I have to watch on the TV. Our Fire Stick is too slow. I don't know if they get old like computers, but I feel like that has to be what's happened, because it didn't used to be this slow. And it takes forever to like turn on and actually get to even the main menu, and then you have to load up whichever app you're trying to watch. It's such a pain in the butt. Oh, it's not on there anymore. Okay, well, I'm gonna definitely put that on the list to watch soon. Um, because your last recommendation went so well. I watched through all what 6 seasons of Schitt's Creek in like 2 weeks. That was a great show. I love that one. That was a fantastic recommendation. That was basically all that I watched for like the last 2 weeks on repeat was Schitt's Creek and Queer Eye. I just wanted to feel good. So I'm just watching these like happy feel good shows instead of the normal awful true crime things that I watch, which normally don't make me feel bad, but when I get into like a mental funk, I can't watch like the true crime and the missing persons stuff. Like it's too sad. I don't want to watch that. Yeah, okay. See those tools so much better. So much better. I think that might be good enough because like there's still a little bit in there, but I feel like I'm going to be carving enough of that part of the face away that it's not really going to make a big difference. Also, this is definitely turning into a chaotic stream. I spent like 5 minutes walking around the room looking for tools, only to figure out that I had them right in front of me the whole time. I need to adjust this because it's starting to turn everything yellow again. There we go. Yeah, I loved Schitt's Creek. That was a great show. Okay. I think I have removed enough of the pink off of this face that it is ready. I like the Icy dolls a lot because they have a very unique face, but the eye holes, I feel like the eye holes, I don't know if I can even get the camera up close enough. They're just always so rough. So I always feel like I need to fix those. And it's so hard to not file too much away. Like that's one area I don't think I will ever take a Dremel to because you have to go very slowly at it or you end up taking way too much of the eyelid away. But I just hate how rough they are. Like people don't have jagged eyelids, so it just looks very jarring to have like the little jagged spikes on those eyelids. Oh, I just realized I looked up all of these like free music sites before I started today, and then I didn't put any music on. uh, Let me pick one. They do remind me a little bit of aliens. They're very strangely shaped because they're kind of square. Like the faceplates are really square, but then all of the features are very angular. I mean, they're good for doing Asian faces because they already have the almond shaped eyes, but like they're just so angular. Like the noses are very pointy. And that's compared to a Blythe doll who already has kind of a pointy nose. It's just that the way that they're carved, they're not like soft and smooth. The features are somehow very pronounced despite not being like detailed carvings. So, I don't know. I think they're interesting. This is my third Icy doll. Um, there we go. Get some music going. So the first one I did was Little Miss Fortune, And the second one I did was Alara. So this will be the first Icy doll that I'm not really dramatically changing anything about the shape. I'm not actually planning on doing a whole lot of carving other than to kind of smooth out this mouth area. And I want to turn the corners of the mouth more downward, obviously. And then I'm going to carve like some little eye bag lines in here. Because obviously for Edgar Allan Poe, he's got the, you know, droopy eye bag thing going on. And then I'm going to make an attempt to actually flock the mustache on there instead of drawing it or carving it or anything like that. Just because I think it would be kind of a fun little experiment. I've never flocked a mustache onto a doll before, but I feel like I could do it. So, yeah, I'm going to try that. And then this one, obviously, because it's a vinyl head, I'm not going to be carving anything. I'm just going to play with a little bit of pastels and kind of figure out what color scheme I'm going to do with this doll, because I haven't really planned anything at all yet. Let's see. I think I'm going to start with this one, though. I need black thread so I can do the little eyes and mouth. What happened to my music? Was that it? That was so short. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to quickly stitch on a little eyes and mouth for the little voodoo doll. And then I'm going to add blushing all around the sides to make it look kind of aged and kind of dirty. I don't generally do a whole lot of blushing on my Blockhead dolls, just because I don't actually know how permanent pastels are on Eco Felt, but I'm pretty sure that when I'm working on white, anything I put on it is going to be on there. So I think if I go in with like anything like this kind of a brown against that white, it should be pretty well permanent. So I'm going to give him a pretty classic voodoo doll face with the little X eyes. And I'm not going to worry about being neat because it's meant to be like a voodoo doll. It doesn't really need to be perfect and neat. Get a little closer than that. Oh, hey, another first time commenter. Just a little sin. Okay. Um, yeah, generally I will go if I'm going to do it, especially on fabric, like on a doll face, you don't want to go too much darker because it pretty much is going to stick real well. But on felt where you're not sure if it's going to slide off or not, you definitely want to go darker than what you want it to be. Um, because a lot of it is just going to brush right off. Oh, so this is my little scrap spool. Whenever I do gathering threads, I try and salvage the gathering threads when I remove them, if I can, because I like to use them for things like the embroidery on the face that doesn't, it's not structural, so it's okay if the thread is a little fluffy, especially on my blockheads where I kind of want them to look a little bit rough. Um, I'm really not worried about using like super high quality threads, so that's where I'll use the cheaper threads in like the dollar store kind of kits, and where I'll use my recycled threads from my gathering stitches. Yeah. I think I need, yeah, one more here. Ooh, kind of amazed I'm not stabbing myself because half the time I decide to do things on camera, that's when I end up sewing my finger to a project. All right, so I'm gonna do, I think there's not quite enough scrap left on this one. So let me grab a new thread to do the mouth. Yeah, I don't sew on camera often because that seems to be the time when the injuries happen. I used to get yelled at. I went to a really fancy, expensive couture sewing school, and I used to get scolded a lot because I never wear thimbles when I hand sew. If I can't feel the needle and thread, I just completely lose track of what I'm doing. So thimbles just ruin everything for me. I can't be neat with a thimble. I've been sewing for at this point like over 20 years. I can't relearn. I'm too old to relearn. So yeah, I used to get yelled at a lot because I never used thimbles, and then I try to use thimbles and I would stab myself because I can't feel what I'm doing. Um, my hands are basically entirely callous at this point because I never use thimbles. So like this area here and like this bit on my thumb are basically, they're all callous. I don't need thimbles. I am a thimble. And I still get kind of nervous on camera too. Like that doesn't help. Oh, I definitely don't get blood in the voodoo dolls. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to add a couple of little cross stitches over the mouth here. Oh no. I I don't usually have this much trouble sewing a straight line. It's because I'm on camera. So I'm just going to sew a couple of little cross stitches just to give the voodoo doll effect. So there's one here. Do another one right about here. And then tie this off, and then I will start with the blushing. And I do plan to go around the edges with the black thread as well, but I want to do the blushing first, because it's kind of going to guide where my needle will go. Like how far over the edges I'm going to do the black thread. So, get, this is where I use my really rough, janky looking brushes. um, okay, so yeah, I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to start with this one. And just kind of go along the seam lines. And so you can even tell a lot of that is not really sticking. So that's why I'm going with such a dark color, because if I went in with a lighter color, it pretty much wouldn't even be there. Once you get your dark color on, you can kind of fade it in with the lighter colors, and they will be more noticeable, but you really need the darker color as a base. And normally when I do this, I do a lot of it as like bruising around eyes on my zombie characters. So with that, you definitely always start with the dark and work your way out into a lighter color. So that's just kind of the habit that I'm in, which, you know, a lot of people probably wouldn't want to start super dark, because if it does show up dark, then it's too dark. But I mean, I've been making these guys for probably close to 10 years at this point, so I kind of feel like I have a good handle on what color something is going to turn out before I even put it down. It's just really hard getting this cheapy camera to focus on something that's white. I have my ring light out again today, because otherwise my camera just blows out everything white. Get a little bit more on the brush. I'm not going to get that. I feel like I could probably blend the dark one out a little bit more, but I'm hesitant to do that too much just because this dude is like white white. If he was like a creamy color, I think I would blend this farther away from the stitch edge here, but I want to do that with a lighter color, I think. I don't work a whole lot with this white other than when I do like my little zeros and my Jack Skellingtons. I use the white. I think I pretty much only use this really bright white for like for hair otherwise, because it's very white even with the acrylic paints that I use. um, Everything comes out a lot brighter than I expect it to because it's white and I'm used to painting on, like zombie colors. Lots of greens and blues and gray, a lot of gray, not a lot of white. Okay. So, yeah, I'm kind of liking how that's looking. I think I don't need to blend it too much farther out because once I put the next color on, I think it'll kind of do that for me. This is the hard part. I've never actually blushed the edges of one of these little bitty ones before. So getting in that little neck area without making a big mess. Surprised that worked out as well as it did. In that little crevice. All right. Almost done. Whoops. That's where it comes in handy that this brushes off so easily. Whoopsies. All right. Perfect. Nobody will ever know. All right. Let's get just a little bit more. All right, now use the wider part of the brush. Just on the big open areas like that. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit over the stitches that I did. Yeah, nobody will ever notice. It looks fine. I think I got it all off. Yeah, see, even as dark as this is, I'm having to do layers and layers on top of the face stitching, um, because it's polyester eco felt and nothing really likes to stick to it. Even acrylic paints, if you put on it, will over time, they'll start to fade. They don't stay bright or dark. Everything eventually will fade. It's one of the downsides to using eco felt, but I feel like it's a little more environmentally friendly than other felts. It might not be, but it makes me feel like I'm being environmentally friendly. And crafting in general is kind of not great for the environment. So anything that makes me feel better about it, that's what I cling to. Yeah, yeah, a lot of felts is like that. The only ones I've found that aren't like that are like the really, really soft natural fiber felts, like the really soft ones. But those are always super expensive and they're kind of hard to work with. Okay. I think that's good. And I'm going to be putting a little heart on the chest with red. So let me just kind of mark out where I'm going to put the heart. Because I want the aging kind of effect both under and on top of the heart that's going to be stitched on. So I'm going to put a layer of this down now. And then after I stitch the heart on, I'm going to, oh boy, that sounded bad. After I stitch the heart to the chest, I'll put another layer on top of the heart. Okay, yeah. So that's going to be good on that color. And while I have this color on my brush, I'm going to put it on one of these little horns just to see. Because again, I'm not really ready to start on this little dude yet. I'm still kind of figuring out what color their horns and everything are, and like the colors that I want to put on them in general. So just while I've got the dark brown on my brush, I'm going to swipe a little bit on there so I can figure out how that looks later. I kind of like that. It's not showing up great on the camera because my lighting is terrible. It's been really overcast today, so the lighting isn't cooperating. But once again, the lighting was not cooperating for me to do my stream on Wednesday where I usually do it because it was raining. So, make it the best this week. Alright, let's get the dark brown off the brush now. I'm going to go in with a lighter brown. Let me see if I've got one in my other box here that might work good with that. I think probably this one. Yeah, so they're pretty similar. So maybe not that one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've had snow and then warm and it melts and it rains and then more snow and then it gets warm and it melts and it rains. February's not my favorite month. It's not really a great month in Cleveland for the weather. So that's not been fun. I think this one is probably too light. Oh yeah, see that one's real orangey. That's not quite what I want. Ugh. Yeah, I'm done with winter. I'm not a fan of summer in general, but I'm done with winter. I don't want any more of this. All right, I did not grab myself. I usually have like a damp towel to clean my pastels off with, and I did not grab one today. Okay, I think maybe this one might be a little too green tinged. Let's see. I have all of these pastels and just none of them are quite right. So I may just do more of the dark brown and just go in a little bit lighter with it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. If I were doing this for a doll, I would probably shave some off of two colors that were close enough together to make what I needed and then work from that. But for something this small, it's just a lot of work. So I'll just go lighter than I normally would with this dark brown. Just to really bring that aging kind of over to the sides here. I won't do that all the way around because I think it looks a little more natural if it's like unevenly dirty on the edges. So I just kind of pick specific areas and just lightly I'm gonna add a little bit extra on one side or the other. I'm gonna add a little on this side of the foot over here. All right. So I think that's probably good for this little dude. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I usually stream on Wednesdays in the afternoon with art stuff, and then I do um, a scary games stream on Thursday nights. I haven't been doing that. I got COVID for Christmas, and I'm still recovering, so I have not been doing the scary game streams regularly yet. But if you're into those too, those are also here at some point in the future. Okay. So I just added a little bit under the head on that area. I don't want to highlight it too much, um, just because that area was actually trimmed and I'm worried if I brush against it too much, it'll wear it out. So, all right, that little dude's gonna be done. Yeah, it set off a whole inflammatory storm for me. So it was a nightmare. The COVID itself like didn't even hit me that hard because I had all three of my vaccines, so I was super lucky about that. But just like it set off all of my chronic illnesses all at once, and I just had this like cascade of inflammation going through my body for the last month. So yeah, I just finally started getting energy back within the last couple of weeks. I finally cut my hair yesterday. It needed to be cut in December, and I didn't because I was like, oh, it's Christmas. I'm being lazy. I'll do it in January. And then I got COVID, so obviously I didn't. So I was like 4 months overdue for a haircut. I just did that yesterday. Because I didn't want to do another stream today with the awful grown out mullet that I had going on. Yeah, it's been rough. I'm getting there though. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, okay, I need to start sketching this little dude out. I'm gonna grab my phone really quick. It's in my pocket. Oh no. My phone was in my pocket. Oh, this is what I mean by when I say that my streams always get unintentionally chaotic, because my brain just kind of stops working about halfway through. All right. I want to pull up some reference images here. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Okay. There we go. Find myself a good reference image here. Oh, apparently I subconsciously decided that was the one. Let's see. I'm gonna decide which one I'm going to use. I'm trying to find like a good, that's a pretty good front facing angle here. Oh, how did it close? Come back. Damn it. Okay. There we go. All right. So, let's see what we're working with here. He's got pretty hooded eyes, so I think I may do a tiny bit of carving just to even deepen this just a little bit. So let me mark that for carving. I just, when I'm going to carve something out, I put little cross hatches over it. So I'm not going to carve up, I'm going to try and carve in, if that makes sense. Just to try and get those eyes even a little bit more hooded. His eyes are kind of almond shaped, so I think I may leave the shape of the eyes alone. Give him the nice heavy eye bags here. So let's start there and then do just a little bit of cross hatching to take that in right in the cheeks. Those really do go a good amount of the way in, so we'll take a little bit more of that. I didn't put my grid on here. Hold on. I need the grid because otherwise I will end up getting really off center real quick. Oop. Help if I can hold the faceplate steady. Okay. I think that's pretty straight. Oh, this one kind of went off to the side. See, this is why I gotta put the grid on. That's pretty straight. Do the grid across the mouth. Grid at the nose. And across the eyes. I'm not going to worry too much about the brows because they're pretty much going to end up right on top of where I'm taking this carving out in the eyelids. So, just kind of not going to mark anything for brows. Alright, this mouth is going to need to be very straight, so I'm going to want to bring this really prominent lip in. Just carve that right down. I may even take some clay and fill that little gap between the lips. I think that might be easier because the Icy dolls, they're much thinner. I don't know if you can tell by looking at the back plate there, but this little dent is that top lip. So they're much thinner than a normal Blythe doll in this area, and I really try to avoid carving into that area any more than I have to. So just looking at it, I'm definitely going to want to try and take them down a little bit. But I think I'm not going to carve them completely flat. I think I will just carve as much as I can and then put a little bit of epoxy sculpt in there to get it really nice and even. And use just a little bit jowly. So I may do not a full carving, but just a little bit with my sanding tool to really bring the corners of the mouth down. Maybe not out so much, more straight down. I feel like this is the less interesting part of a doll face up, but a lot of people maybe don't really know how to start. So this is just a good way to start. Even on a doll I don't carve at all. Even when I do a doll like this with a vinyl face, I still will draw in either pencil or watercolor pencil. Usually on a vinyl face, I'll do it in a color that's close to the skin tone, watercolor pencil, and I'll draw myself out a little grid before I start putting the details on. Just because I'm not good at visualizing spaces. I can't think of what the word for that is. I think it's just spatial perception. My spatial perception is not good. I know that's something I struggle with, so I do everything I can to help myself to make it easier. So the grid definitely helps. And also turning things over so I'm looking at them upside down, so I see it as shapes rather than as a face, I've found to be quite helpful. Trying to get this other eye bag pretty close, and you know, they're sisters, not twins. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be pretty close. Add the cross hatching. Yeah, okay. So this is looking decent so far. All right, let me see what I'm going to do with the nose. I feel like this shape of nose is actually going to work pretty well for him, although his point's more downward, so I'm going to want to bring up these nostril sides just a little bit. Take them like just 1/8 of an inch up higher so that the tip is below the nostrils. Maybe one more, like 1/16 of an inch. So those I'll go at with a Dremel because I'm trying to pretty dramatically alter the shape of the nose. I think the lips I'll also probably take down with a Dremel. And I think that's it. I think the rest of it I'm going to be doing by hand with my sanding tools because I don't want to do too much. The squarish face actually I think is going to work pretty well for Poe. He's got a nice squared off jaw there. Let me, I can't get my camera to capture my phone screen. So, you know, I think we're having a good start here. I'm really excited to try and add a flocked mustache because I've never done anything like that before, but I think it's going to be really fun to try. I may try and flock the eyebrows too because his eyebrows are very thin. They're very, very fine, not thin. Like they are wide, but they're fine. Very delicate eyebrows. He's got the Matt Smith delicate eyebrows. So I think that also would probably be okay to try and flock them. Yeah. Just looking at the other pictures to try and get an idea of what these eyebrows are going to be like. And I think that's going to be the way to go. Rather than trying to draw them on, because drawing really delicate little eyebrows like that is always kind of a challenge. I feel like I can manage to do this. It's going to be a little time consuming, which might mean that I end up not being able to part with him. It's going to end up being another doll that just sits in my collection. But I think it's going to be a fun challenge. Okay, so I'm looking at more of these pictures and it looks like the bottom lip is somewhat pronounced. So I may not take these quite as far back as I was initially planning. So I think the lighting in that one just made it look a little less pronounced. But some of these, yeah, see, like this one, this picture, come on, camera. Well, you're just going to have to take my word for it. Some of the other pictures, that bottom lip is much more pronounced. So I think I may not carve quite as much off of the lips as I was initially thinking. In fact, I think I may even just leave this bottom lip exactly as it is. So I'm going to take off my cross hatching so I don't get confused and accidentally carve into that. Yeah. I'm just going to take the top lip in a little bit. And then probably take a little bit of epoxy and fill the gap between the lips. Maybe I won't even do that. I don't know. We're going to have to start carving and kind of see where it goes. So I'm going to start carving out these little eye bags here. So with something like this is my approach. I took this and I made like a little groove so that I can use the back end of it and just kind of gently file and file and file until I start to get that little visible dip in there. And then I will probably go in with my Dremel, just literally like just touch it with the Dremel. But I want to get the little grooves carved in there with my tool first because that's going to help the Dremel not slide across the face and do anything too crazy. because that's how you end up ruining a faceplate. Ask me how I know. um, yeah, so I just want to get the little groove started with my tools. Actually, let me try this one, because this one is actually sandpaper all the way around, and it's just a little bit thicker. I don't know if I can really get the camera to show, but this one is like just the slightest bit thicker than the thick end of my other tool. So I think this one may work better to put that initial groove. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the way that this is basically going to work is you have to put a groove in here, and then you carve the underside of the groove until you get it even. Or not carve, you sand until it's, you know, smoothed out and you have the raised bit above where you dremeled out the groove. And again, that's my process. I'm quite sure there are a million other people out there who might have a million different processes. I'm still pretty new to doing Blythe dolls, so my process may not be the best one, but that's going to be my approach. I definitely won't be dremeling today. I need better lighting for that. I need to feel like my coordination is not an issue for that. And unfortunately, that's something I'm kind of still struggling with because I basically didn't really do anything that used my hands since I got sick. So I'm a little rusty. I'm not super confident in my coordination at the moment. I mean, on an average project, it's not even going to be like a noticeable difference, but on anything where I'm going to be using a Dremel, I'm not confident that my hands are there yet. I need to get back into my groove. Also, with the lighting being what it is, I'm not going to be able to see well enough to be dremeling. That's how you dremel your hands. Again, ask me how I know. Okay, so I don't know if I can even get that pictured on the camera, but you should be able to kind of see that I have got the little initial groove carved on both sides. So when I take my Dremel in, I'm just going to literally just touch it down just to get that set and smoothed in there. And then I'm going to take my curved tool after I get the dremeled thing in. I'm losing my words here. The dremeled groove in. I'm going to take my curved tool and just smooth and smooth and smooth the underside until it's, you know, flush with the cheeks again. I'm trying to decide if I want to do. I'm probably going to want to Dremel the upper eyelids, but so that might wait for tomorrow too. Let me just get this a little bit deeper. I'm so hesitant to carve into icy face plates because they are thinner than the typical Blythe plates. And it's so easy to just go right through them if you're not being careful. But I think I probably have a lot of room to carve before that happens. I got another first time chatter today. Hello. Young Money 2023. Okay. I can't actually check my messages right now. Um, I'll have to check that later after I sign off. Yeah, because I'm not actually, I don't have Twitch open. I have OBS open right now. Just even this one out a little bit because it came out a little jagged. I think I think that's probably good. Okay. Pull my photo up again here. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. So I think I may also, hmm. No, I'm not going to extend the mouth. I was thinking about maybe bringing the mouth corners out, but I think that when I add the little jowly lines in, that's going to already extend the corners a little bit. So I'm going to leave that where it is. I need my Mono Zero eraser so I can just kind of clean up. Hold on. Just sort of clean up this area here. Okay. I'm looking at my grid and this doesn't look even, but I feel like my grid is even, so even if my carving lines look a little bit off, I think I'll probably be okay. It doesn't look super uneven to me, so I think it's just me being nitpicky. Although, you know what, this line here, I brought it a little too far in when I was correcting it before. That's probably what's throwing me off. Yeah, okay, now it looks alright to me. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned before, but like these are they're just pencil lines, and because I sand everything a final time before I do any kind of blushing or painting on Blythe face plates, all of the pencil lines that are left after I carve will get sanded off. So that's why I do it that way. If I do it with like a watercolor pencil and I let those lines sit there for a while, sometimes that'll like soak into the plastic and it won't come all the way off. But I've never had a problem sanding the pencil lines off. So that's why I use pencil on the faceplates. Again, I'm fairly new to these kinds of dolls, so there may be other people who use other things, but that's just what works for me. Okay. I don't think there's anything else I can do until I'm ready to Dremel. And I'm not ready to Dremel today, so I'm going to set this one aside. Also, if you are working on a Blythe type doll and you want to keep your screws together, paint palettes. I have my T-bar and T-bar screw in one little container, and these are all of the backplate screws in another container. So it keeps everything where you need it until you're done. And when you're ready to put them back in, they're right there. So I normally leave this one in, but I'm just going to take it out because I don't want to scratch myself on it as I'm dremeling. So, okay. Yeah, I think this guy's done for now. So we're going to set Mr. Edgar aside. Let's see, what else do I have to work on today? I could also... it's getting a little bit late to be starting on a new face, so I'm going to leave this guy aside. Although I do want to put a different brown on the other antler because I want to just look at it for a few days before I decide what color I'm going to do the antlers. So, no, you know what? I want my other pastel palette because I think I want to put that warmer brown on the other antler and see how I like that. So this is the really warm, almost orangey brown. I'm going to put this on the other antler. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to get enough of it on there that I can kind of get an idea. So I don't know how well this is showing up on camera because it is starting to get a little bit dark. But yeah, I put that dark brown on this antler and this warm orangey brown on the other one. And I'm just gonna kind of look at those over the next couple of days and try and decide which one I'm going to go with. And I think to kind of help me make that choice, I'm also going to do some blushing on each side. And this face is not sealed, obviously, so it's all going to be washable so that I can wipe it all off and put the actual colors down when I'm ready to start. I'm just trying to kind of get an idea for what I want to be doing. Yeah, so I just put a little bit of a pinky blush. That's not showing up at all. Will it show up on this one? A little bit. So I just put like a little bit of a pinky blush on there to kind of put a little bit of life into the face so that when I'm looking at it, I can kind of get an idea of which color I'm going to go with. And it does look a little bit like muddy and kind of dusty right now, which is fine because, again, nothing on here is permanent yet. I'm just kind of trying to play with colors and figure out what colors I even want to use. Because I have nothing planned for this doll. I kind of just bought it. I just bought her on a whim. So, I don't know. I'm just playing with some colors here. If I did some green eyeshadow. Oh no, no, that's bad. That's bad. I don't like that at all. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna take that off of there and pretend that never happened. Maybe we'll do like an earthy brown. All right. Yeah, so just throw a little bit of shadow around the eyes. So it's starting to look a little bit more lifelike. It's still very sloppy because, again, I'm just trying colors out. So I'm going to let that sit for the next day or so and look at it and kind of decide whether I want to go with the warmer browns or the more cool browns. I'm kind of leaning towards the warmer just because the head itself is kind of a pinky color. Which just further shows why this body, the colors are not showing up on this camera well at all. But it does, I think, show why this body needs so much blushing, because it's not very pink at all. And the face has a definite pink cast to it. So I'm going to have to blush the body regardless of what I do to the face. Which is okay. I kind of planned for that. That's what you get when you buy cheap dolls. You just have to plan that you're going to do some adjustments on them. Okay. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit tired. Let's see. I'm going for an hour and a half. I may end a little bit early today. I'm starting to get a little bit tired, so I think I may just call it a day on the craft stream for today. I don't really think I have anything else that I need to say right now. Again, same as last week, I may or may not do a scary game stream over the weekend. We'll see how I'm feeling. I did manage to progress in Visage past the point where I was stuck. So I have a new Visage video up. I will probably be doing another hour or two of Visage over the weekend, because now that I'm through that section again, I am once again kind of excited for the game. Also, I've been told that I'm getting much closer to the end of the awful Raken chapter of Visage, so I kind of just want to get through it as quickly as possible so I can move on to the next two chapters, which I'm told are much more enjoyable. So yeah, I will probably do another video of Visage over the weekend. I may or may not do a scary game stream. What I may end up doing instead is another silly game stream, because I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to do 2 scary games over the weekend if I'm doing Visage. So I have a whole bunch of games that I saved when I was, when I was kind of bumming a bit, and I was playing a bunch of games that were like dog petting simulators. And some of those were kind of fun. So I don't know, maybe I'll do a short stream with a few of those. Let's see. Next week, I do have another art stream actually planned. I want to work more on my little Mothman figure, but had a minor issue when removing him from the oven, and he fell over, and the clay around his eye cracked. So I have to get in there with some epoxy and smooth that crack together. What I may actually attempt to do is just throw a tiny little bit of super glue under there and like smooth it over and just hold it and see if that will work enough that I can paint over it and it won't be, oh geez, and it won't be noticeable. But yeah, that's why I didn't do Mothman today, because he did not survive the oven. Oh, but what did happen though, what I did notice after he came out of the oven, the eyes are fully cured now. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but whatever like weird squishy eyeball issue I was having, putting him in the oven fixed it. So his eyeballs are no longer squishy. All of his back wires are fully intact. Oh yeah, there's his little, I sculpted a butt because if anybody has seen the Mothman statue that actually exists, Mothman's thick. Mothman's got cake. So I felt like my little Mothman needed a butt. Also, he lost one of his antenna wires. I kind of thought that might happen because it was really hard to secure them with just the thin layer of clay. So another thing that I'm going to do before I paint him is take my hand drill and just drill a little farther into the actual plaster of the head, and then use some of the UV resin to secure these in place. So I'm going to do that, all of that over the weekend. I'm going to fix the eye. I'm going to put that back in place. I may even put his base coat on because I think that that's not going to be super exciting to watch. Oh no, his arm is still real loose. So I'm probably going to throw some epoxy over this arm to hold that in place. I'm going to do all that over the weekend, and then next week for the art stream, I will be working on Mothman again. So that was supposed to be this week's stream, and just you know, the baking gods, they're breaking my stuff. Yeah, okay. So that was one for the Jackie fans. Yeah. I think that's it. So yeah, another Visage video up on my YouTube. That's if you don't follow me on YouTube, my YouTube is also Spooky Doll Lady. So you can find me over there. Why is he? Oh dear. I'm just going to lay him down because I don't want to break him any further. Yeah, my YouTube is also Spooky Doll Lady, so you can follow me over there. I actually upload my streams to YouTube as soon as they're ended. So if you ever miss a stream or you have to leave a stream and you want to see the rest of it, you can go to YouTube the next day and the stream will be on YouTube. Again, I'm also Spooky Doll Lady on YouTube. So feel free to go follow me over there. Yeah, so Visage video on YouTube over the weekend, maybe a game stream over the weekend, definitely an art stream next week, and I will be working on Mothman again. Hopefully on Wednesday, like my art stream schedule actually says. Again, it's weather permitting. The last couple of weeks I had 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts taking out my internet signal, and then just constant rainstorms all day yesterday, so I'm trying, guys. Trying to get back on a schedule here. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Bye.